let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket, that crypto wallet, that bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 I'm always right.
What is going on? Welcome to Trading with Bleeves. I hope you guys are having a good episode. Tonight, we are taking on ICE in an episode I like to call Too Fast, Too Furious, and also some other bullshit. Whatever titles you can come up with, whatever the smartest title for the 7th movie that was in a franchise, whatever that is, that's what I just said. So I did today movies with 7 sequels. And I want you to know, because it's kind of crazy. Okay. With 7. I want you to know this because this is fucking wild. Okay. It's fucking wild. The first movie that shows up, or one of the first movies that show up, like I was Bring It On, Cheer or Die. Nobody's gonna know that. Who watches Bring It On? What are you talking about? You know, Cinerama, don't know. City Hunter, Child's Play, Cult of Chucky, maybe. The Coens and Kellys, don't know what that is. DC Superheroes, maybe. Despicable Me, Dracula, Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, maybe. Deep Throat. But wait, there's more. And for those of you that don't know, Deep Throat is an adult series of movies. The 7th Deep Throat is Deep Throat 6. Just want you to know that. That's how adult films work. Let me say that again. The 7th sequel, or episode number 7 of the Deep Throat franchise is Deep Throat 6. Can't make that shit up. You cannot make that shit up at all. The other one, which was also an adult series, I think it was Emmanuel, and it was Emmanuel 7. So, you know. Frankenstein had 7, and that was Frankenstein and the Monster from Hell. I had to go down the list here a little bit to try to find it. Iron Man and Captain America, Hurt Heroes United. What the fuck is that? Jurassic Park World Rebirth. Maybe I could have done that one. Leprechaun Returns. So I went through this. Paranormal Activity, Next of Kin, which is what I put on the what the fuck do you call them? Thumbnail. Put that on the thumbnail. So anyway, do I spend my time wisely? No, I do not. But it's my goddamn show. I get to do that if I want, right? So let's talk about what's going on in the markets right now. If you have not already, make sure that you hit that like button on the way in. Helps push me up in the algorithm. And we are talking Margex right now. Boom, boom, boom. And we are. So to summarize where we were yesterday. Yesterday, I put $5,000 into Margex because we were going to do some trading. We were going to set this up and see what happens, right? I told you guys that I might take profit along the way, that I might do something with it along the way. And in fact, that is exactly what I did because it seemed like nonsensical for me to not just take the profit when I've got the win, right? So what that means for you guys is as we do this, and by the way, I don't have the copy trading set up. I still haven't come up with a witty enough name. Don't Stop Bleevin' was the one that I came up with today. Believe in something might do. I don't know yet. I believe I could fly, something like that. We'll come up with something hilarious and silly and worth doing. But let me show you exactly what happened. So we have no open positions right now. We canceled everything. As a matter of fact, just to give you some, I'll show you in just a moment exactly what happened. But we now have $5,665.42 because we had a 12% profit overall. So position history. This is what we did. This is where we ended up. Okay. So we had 3 Bitcoin longs because I screwed them each up as I was buying, right? So we made 49 bucks on one. We made $6 on the other one and $5 on the other one. The place where we made the biggest gain, Tron gave us $25 gain, which was not significant, but you know, I like Tron. I thought that maybe because of Sun token mooning that maybe we would get a big move on Tron. Was not to be, or at least it was not at that moment. Avalanche, we got a $99 win on right there. Pretty big one. But if you guys remember, the one thing that I said, because it was lighting up before the market started to dip, and I thought it was going to light up again. Near made us $225. And then, not to be outdone, Solana. And you remember yesterday, I was not a fan of Solana pumping. I second guessed myself a couple times before we entered that trade, but I decided let's go ahead and let's enter it and let's see what happens. And guess what happened? $229. So now we have $5,665 to continue on this journey. Now, I think for safety at 10,000, if we make it, if I don't lose it, when we get to 10,000, I'm going to take my original 5,000 out and we're going to start with 5,000 again. All right. So just to give you guys kind of an update there, or I'm going to move it over into copy trading. We're going to be very careful with our copy trading. By the way, I'm going to be risk off on most of this. I'm not going to be pressing to try to make big wins. Okay. So to give you a breakdown of exactly what happened and bring you up to speed, yesterday we were feeling Bitcoin. We were feeling that move. We were thinking that we were going to get kind of a rip off of it. Today is 9:24. We want to go to 9:23 when we did this, which was yesterday at 6 o'clock down here. We were sitting around 112,000. Okay. We took the position. We got a massive dump. We knew we had plenty of leverage on the position, by the way. We went 5x, and 10x. And that was somewhere in the neighborhood of 90,000 was going to be our liquidation price. I felt comfortable with that, at least falling to sleep overnight, that we weren't going to go down to 90,000. So I woke up and we were up, and I decided at that point, it is time to take the profit. Now, we ended up taking the profit during the show today. In fact, if you look at our position history on, let's do the biggest Bitcoin trade right there. We bought 900. This is when we got it right here. Our open price was 112,081. We took it at 113,123. That's when we closed everything. Right now, it went all the way up to 113,994. So we were not able to get the top of it, but we were able to make a play that gave us a nice, juicy win, which is exactly what we're looking for. Like, we're not looking, I don't need to hit the top all the time. I just need to find that bottom. That's what I'm looking to do, is find the bottom on each transaction and get that big win. So we entered at 112.81 and we got a nice big surge on that one. The next one that we had that was good was Tron. So let's go look at TRX and see. I kind of forgot where I put Tron, to be fair. I should probably move it up. But it's so Tron, we entered Tron at 33 cents, 33.6. So we entered Tron over boom, 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 boom. So we entered Tron on this red candle right here at 33.6, right where exactly where I'm pointing right now. We had a dip that came back down all the way to 33.4. So we could have had an entry point a little bit lower, but we took it for the long haul. And then it just started ripping, right? This started ripping. So we took the profit earlier this morning at this green candle right here. It went up just a little bit more, did not break 34 cents. So I think we got close. You know, this was not a great win, but it was a good win. It was a solid, we made a profit. That's the important part, right? We made a nice little profit. and that's good enough. Avalanche, on the other hand, $33.40 went up to $34.11. What did Avalanche look like? Let's go check that one out. Avalanche, look at this right here. Look at what happened to Avalanche. We called this one proper and perfect. All right. So we got in on Avalanche right here on this red candle right here. And then we got the pump and we took that money like a bitch and ran with it this morning. We got out at 34.11. All right. It ran up to 34.86. So we missed a few bucks off of it, but we had a nice little win. And now look at what's happening right now. This does not look great. This looks like a real collapse. I mean, it's got to go a lot further than that for it to be a real collapse. But that is a massive downward move on the day for something that we got a nice little profit off of. Then we moved on to Near Protocol. We got in at 297. We sold at 313. Near Protocol looked like this. All right, so we got in on this candle right here. Again, we had that dagger that stuck us right there, but we had plenty of leverage on our position. And then it absolutely started to hype and absolutely started to rip. We got this big move here. Then we got on the 9 o'clock candle, which is where we took the profit. And we went up here to 304.11 and we caught it right about there. So another just nice 313. I'm sorry. We ended up at 313. Where was 313? Boom, boom, boom. No, right here. Yeah, 9 o'clock. So we got all the way up here. You know what? On MEXC, we didn't get to 313, but on Margex, it went to 313 and we took our profit. So we didn't see it scale up that high. I should probably switch this from MEXC to something that we're actually using. Nonetheless, price right now, 303. Price here, 309 on Margex right now. So there's a real big arbitrage opportunity. Also, the big winner was Solana. Again, at 207. Yeah, 207. We took Solana yesterday at 207, and we were on this, I think right here. Yeah, right here. We were on this, got down to about 207, took the buy. And by the way, oh, that's what it was. My bad. You know why? Because we set this for a buy order. We set a buy order on this one to trigger at 207. So at last night at 11 p.m., the buy that we had set up on Solana, which I told you guys I wanted to have a good buy a position. Guess what? Look at that. Look at what happened. Okay. We got exactly what I was aiming for. And it went a little bit lower. It went a little bit lower, but we were shrewd. You know, we took it exactly where I said I thought we were going to get the biggest bounce. It came down to these wicks down here, which I don't really feel those. I was feeling these right here at 207. So, we got the entry position and then it ripped. And then at 9 o'clock, it closed at 215.71. We ended up scaling out at $213. So nice big wins. So now we're going to look for some new wins. What can we do right now? Well, let's look at the market. Let's try to figure out what's going on. Where are we at on the Fear and Greed Index? About 43. We're at 35 right now. We've had a dump in the market for the last couple of hours, just kind of ranging. We had a high of, where are we at here? 3.88 trillion. So we were up about $65 billion on the day. It's back down to 36 billion right now. It's 6:15. We got about 45 minutes left, looking like some real possibility that the market is going to send just a little bit more. Okay. So now we kind of have to ask ourselves, what do we want to get into? Where's our entry positions? What are we looking for? Also, I got to point this out because this is driving me out of my motherfucking mind. Okay. I am losing my shit over this right here because the one thing that I hate is when people are dishonest. But the other thing is when they just are engagement farming you on some bullshit. Okay. To you, if I were to ask you, if I were to walk up to you and just be like, if you don't give me the right answer, I'm going to punch you in the fucking face. Like if I did that, right? And I said, I want you to tell me, what does parabolic mean? What does parabolic mean? Of or like a parabola or part of one, or as expressed in parables. Okay? What does it mean for something to go parabolic? A parabolic move occurs when the speed at which the stock's price goes up increases exponentially. Does anybody know what exponentially means? It means a margin. You know what? Let's do exponentially. More and more rapidly, okay? By means of, or as expressed as a mathematical exponent. We're not looking at that. We're growing exponentially, okay? This is not growing more and more rapidly, okay? Or exponentially. This is growing, okay? This chart right here is Aster, okay? And it's doing well, okay? If you start at 50 cents and 6 days later, you're at $2.38 with a high of $2.40. Okay. That would mean that you went up about 4 or 5x. Okay. It's not slow. I mean, that's pretty fast, right? But I don't know about parabolic, and it's not growing, quote unquote, exponentially. All right. So when I see ridiculous, I mean, when I see engagement farming shit like this, Aster going parabolic, no, it's not. Look, I know Jake just engagement farms people. I mean, I know that. I understand that. And by the way, I'm engagement farming Jake right now by pointing it out. But it just, to me, it's not real. That's not real. But I mean, I guess you could make that argument. A couple of days ago, that was, yeah. And this one, yeah. I mean, it's not, to me, I would say this. If it goes to $10, that's parabolic. All right. In my opinion, a 10 or a 20x, parabolic. In my opinion, a quick 2x, 3x, 4x, or 5x over a week or so, I don't think that's as parabolic as you might. Look, if you put $1,000 in, you got $5,000 at the end of the week. That's a good win. That's not parabolic. If you put in $1,000 and you take out $100,000 over a weekend, that's parabolic. Okay. That, to me, there's a big difference between parabolic and engagement farm. I think just Jake is engagement farming it. So I don't put too much into what these guys are saying at this point. We need to find out, by the way, what is going on here. I'm going to move on from that because I don't want to talk about Jake. I like the guy. But we need to figure out what is going on with Avalanche right now. What is causing Avalanche to dump? So let's, before we enter, because I would really want to scoop up that dip if there's an opportunity there. So AVAX, let's see what's going on here. They trust Avalanche, ANZ, BlackRock. Okay. Each validator is required to burn 1.33 Avalanche every month. Okay. Blonde Broker is, shout out to the AVAX community for having my back going into fight week. I don't know who she's going to beat up. She's going to beat up Jenna, by the way. I don't know if she's going to beat him up. But Blonde Broker, we like her. So, and by the way, it looks like we're wearing the Blonde Broker colors for whatever reason today. So I hope they do well. Don't hurt Jenna. Jenna's my bro. So, you know, I don't want to see her hurt either. Let's figure out what's going on with Avalanche, though. CMC feels more alive. X engagement is dropping while CMC is turning into the real hub. That's interesting. Send it AVAX is cooking for real. Alpha alert. Let's go over here to CoinGape. CoinGape is my trusted news source. I want to look here and see if there's anything talking about Avalanche. No, I don't see anything. So let's do this. AVAX. Let's see what's happening here. If we got any kind of news article or something. in the last hour. Here we go. Avalanche volume hits 1.3 billion all-time high amid Scaramucci-led Treasury. We want dark mode. Treasury fundraiser. All right. Avalanche gained another 2.5% on September 24th, consolidating near $35. The move comes despite negative reactions to the Fed's September 18 rate cut, which was weighed heavily on the broader crypto market, capping Bitcoin below 115,000, ETH under 42. On-chain data suggests Avalanche price resilience in recent weeks is tied to rising DeFi activity. DeFi Llama data shows DEX volume surged to a record 1.3 intraday on September 24. Sharp uptick. Okay, so there's no reason for it to dump. I don't know exactly what's going on. Make sure you hit that like button on the way in, by the way. I'm not feeling this. I don't. Why is AVAX? All right, dump. Let's do that. AVAX dump. Let's see if there's anything right here. Okay. AVAX still pumping despite whale dump negative funding might mean a squeeze is coming. Okay, pump and dump. Good luck with that whale dump, fam. LOL. Okay, so what do we see here? Each validator of an L1. AVAX supply is capped at 720 million. LOL. Good luck with that whale dump, fam. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so 5 hours ago is when this started. So we had a massive dump. So let's look on chain. I'm doing a lot because I think this is going to be a good position to enter. Let's see. 7 hours ago, UniPCS withdrew 3.24 million Aster from Gate.io an hour ago. So they're giving it all the they're giving it all the hold. Aster, Merle. We don't have anything for Avalanche. We don't have anything for Avalanche right now explaining what's going on. Let's do Avalanche dump and see what happens there and see if we got Avalanche has flipped Arbitrum. Let's do with latest. Cross-chain amplification made it devastating. Mint on-chain bridge to 5. Nope. Significant milestone. DEX volume is really impressive. Defies crypto market dump with 10% gains. Nope. September 23rd. So there is nothing here telling me what is going on. We have no information on why AVAX is dumping the way that it is right now. Pump and dump. Good luck with whale dumping, fam. Too bad Agri is. All right, we have nothing here. Sonic Labs approves U.S. expansion. I don't know what that is. Goes to 0 tomorrow. You aren't investing. You are. Great to see AVAX traction in the DEX space. We have nothing to explain. I have nothing to explain what's going on and why AVAX is dumping. Okay, so that means that it is whale manipulation, or at least that should mean that it's whale manipulation. So we're going to enter. We're going to buy some AVAX here one more time. We're going to pop that up on the screen. We're going to do an isolated 5X. 5X means we're going to do it for 5,000. We're going to buy $5,000 worth of Avalanche at 32. What is this? 32.29. Liquidation price going to be 25.88. So, all right. So we've got a market buy at 32.30, 32.58, something like that. Let's see what our position is here. 32.27. So we bought at 32.27. Let's see what happens with Avalanche over the next 24 hours. I would be nervous here about a $25 dump. But let's zoom out here. We haven't seen 25 in a little while. All right. Well, you know what? We've seen it a couple days ago. So, caramba. Maybe I just messed up on that one. Let's look at this from Fibonacci. What does Fibonacci tell us? And it tells us that wick right there. We're going to stick with it. All right. So, we're in Avalanche right now for $1,000 on a 5X leverage, 5,000. If we're right, and you know what? As a matter of fact, let's see. There's the impulse, and there's the top, and we broke down to the 0.5, which means that 34.37 should be our sell zone. So we're going to set a limit order at 34.37. And we are going to sell the whole bag at 34.37 if we are fortunate enough to get to that position. We want to take the profit when we make the profit, and we want to take some risk here. So we're going to sit on that. We're going to see what happens in the next little while with this move. So I'm not sure what caused it. Doesn't look like it's going to be maintained. So I think we're going to be good. Always hydrate, by the way. Oh, and check this shit out. I bought a couple of these bottles, and now I just fill them up every day. Dude, I am so not buying like water every single day. Like, what's up with Pulse Chain? People are getting tired of it not moving. They're getting tired of it not pumping. They're getting tired of not getting any profit. They're getting tired of not making any money on it. So people are starting to scale out. And while people like Ian Heinisch and B Roots and some of these guys are, they've finally had enough because, I mean, listen, Pulse Chain is a direct cut and paste copy of Ethereum. Ethereum is not worth, Ethereum is an institutional grade blockchain, and it does have serious volume. But people don't care about Ethereum. Not like Solana, not like Hype, not like I guess even Aster at this point, but not like Solana, not like XRP, not like Sui, not like Ondo. There are certain things that are in vogue right now, and Ethereum is not really one of them. We know that Ethereum is going to pump because it is institutional grade. We understand that, but Pulse Chain is just a copy of Ethereum. There's no incentive for people to do anything on that chain. So I don't think that it's going to do much. Just my opinion. Now I've just talked myself into $36. God damn it. All right. So I'm going to change that limit order to $36. All right. We're going to do it all at 36. All right. Now we're going to have to go to our active orders and see if we have nothing. All right. So we got an open position and we got a limit order at $36. We got a full take profit here. Okay. Wait, we've got a take profit set at $34. Shit. Okay. Okay, there we go. All right, so we removed that one. So we're just going to stick with the one at $36. I think that's going to be our one right there. All right, so our open price is $32.29. Yeah, we'll do a take profit here at $36. All right, so there we go. That's perfect. The lore is just he is a third largest ETH treasury holder. I don't know that's the case or not. Here's what I know. Richard Hart, the whole time, Pulse Chain, for anybody who doesn't understand Pulse Chain is all about this. It's all about hold it forever and eventually you will make money. That's it. Hold it forever and eventually you will make money. Okay? You don't have to do anything. You don't have to be a trader. You don't have to do anything. You hold, you sacrifice, and someday, way down in the future, you get rewarded. And by the way, a lot of blockchains are like that, okay? And that works for a lot of blockchains. Problem with that in my opinion, for Pulse Chain is who the fuck cares about Pulse Chain? Pulse Chain takes as long as Ethereum to settle, which means that it's not better, it's not an upgrade, it's not an improvement on anything. It's marginally faster, I think, but it's only marginally faster because Ethereum is now faster. So it just doesn't do. It's hard to get to, by the way. Let's be real. A lot of people don't bother with it because, how do you get there? If you want mainstream adoption, which is where the money comes from, you have to be in the mainstream. None of that is. So I don't like Pulse Chain right now, but here's the thing. If Richard Hart would get a wallet developer and make it very, very easy to just integrate yourself, because base is very easy and it's easily integrated. If Richard Hart would take some leadership instead of just kind of leaving it out there and hoping that the community builds, if he would take a little bit more of a leadership role in this context, and I know he was going through some stuff, but he's not anymore. If he'd take a little bit more of a leadership role and actually do something to build the whole ecosystem up, then you might see a massive change. I have been, and you guys might know, I've been talking about Hex and I've been talking about that shit for a long time. You know what I mean? And by the way, I would get an RH wallet. That's not the play. That's the thing. He needs to make a deal with MetaMask. He needs to make somebody a primary. He needs to make Phantom. He needs to make somebody who we know. If we already have the wallet, right? And it already exists and people are already using it, you need to have it integrated with that. You need to turn it into an on-road. And we haven't done that at this point. So there's nothing to talk about in Hex and Pulse Chain. Now, if we go into altcoin season, if we go into a real altcoin season, that might fundamentally change. And we might see a nice big, you might see a nice big rip, which creates some value, which makes everything I'm saying moot. Like it might change dynamically the way that the development is happening. But right now, the whole idea just is falling on deaf ears, and you're seeing it in the price. Now, listen, the price is not horrible. It's just not moving enough. You know what I'm saying? Like there are plenty of projects that are doing far worse than Pulse Chain or Hex or any of that. And son of a bitch, you know what? I have Hex and Pulse Chain sitting in a wallet somewhere. And I don't know where. God damn it. I forgot all about that. Huh. All right. Avalanche is still breaking down right now, by the way. It looks like it's down to 32.15 over here. We are, again, 30 minutes away. Total market cap about 30 billion. Worth about 30 billion up on the day. This might not have been a good deal. This might end up tragically. God damn it. Okay, so let's go back to what else we were doing over here. We got Near Protocol. I don't see any reason to get into Near at this point. H-bar. Let's go set a buy on. No, I'm not feeling H-bar. Let's go see if we're feeling Arrow a little bit. You want to take some risk? Let's take some risk on Arrow. Let's remove this here. And right now we're at what? $1.06, $1.06.9. All right, so let's do $1. Let's do $1.01. We're gonna do. Can we do Arrow here? God damn it! You know what? We might not be able. We can't do Arrow here. Son of a bitch. All right. So let's talk about what's down today. What does it look like? We're going to scroll. I'm going to scroll through here and we're just going to see Bitcoin. We might go long on Bitcoin by the end of this, but for right now, let's hold off. Ethereum, Solana. We had a good rip on Solana. Solana's down 1.5% today. Solana is back down to, that was our entry at 207 last night. We got a nice big rip on it. We made a good profit off of it, but it's still down. If I'm looking at that on the daily, then what do I see here? What I see here is a bounce. We got this nice, by the way, when I say that, what I mean is what I'm looking at for on the bottom of one of these is a big wick right there on a candle showing me that there's a reversal in play. That looks like a pretty big reversal. Okay, so that's going to close. That's going to close right here. That should signify upward momentum. God damn it, I just talked myself into getting some Solana. Son of a bitch. All right, we're going to do the same thing that we just did, but we're going to do it with Solana right now. We're going in for $1,000. We're not going to set a limit price. We're going to go market price on this. We're just going to see what happens here, all right? Estimated liquidation price is $185. Okay, let's see what happens right there. What coins do you like? Jake Gagan, bullish on Aster. Listen, there's a possibility that Aster goes to $10, $12, something like that. But, you gotta understand something here. Trump meme coin went to 15 billion market cap. And then I mean, where is it right now, right? At some point, the pump is going to stop, okay? The hype is going to be over, and these vultures are going to move on to something else. Jake Gagan is riding the hype right now. It's on a hype train, okay? It's up 493%, about 4 or 5x in the last 7 days. And it's at a $4 billion market cap. What's going to be the market cap for a DeFi exchange? Uniswap is at $5 billion. Stop right there. What other DeFi blockchain is up here? Now, I'm sorry, decentralized exchange. I should have said DEX. What other DEX is up here? Hyperliquid, 15 billion, maybe. So can it pass Hyperliquid? Long answer, yes. Today, I don't think so. I mean, it could, but here's my thing, okay? If you're not in Aster at this point, then here's the problem. Like, you have to really suck at investing to look at this and say, yeah, that's my entry position. Does that make sense? Like, that's a bad move, okay? If we look at it on the 4 hour, okay, if you're looking for an entry position, I'm telling you, by the way, if you do what I'm saying right, and if you do what I'm about to say right now, my belief is you're going to get fucking wrecked, okay? But if you're looking for an entry position, your entry position is going to be like right there, $2. If that happens and it goes to $10, you get a 5x. Where you are right now, you get a 4x. But there's so much risk here that maybe $4 billion is the best you're going to get right here, maybe $5 billion. Like, again, it might keep scaling up. It might keep going just a little bit. But at what point is the market saturated and does everybody move on? Okay. What Jake Gagan is doing right now is he's using the hype train to try to, he just wants you to follow him. Okay. This is not for investment purposes. This is, by the way, there have been multiple instances where Jake has worked with CZ Binance. Jake is on season 2 of that fucking crypto show that nobody watches. I don't remember what the name of it is. It escapes me. God damn it. Maybe he's got it on here. Hold on one second here. Jake is on Killer Whales. There it is. Jake is on Killer Whales. That is a big move, by the way. All right. And he's sponsoring Based Brett. So Jake is farming people for engagement. Okay. That's all. And that's, by the way, his job. I mean, you know, this is what we do. This is the job. But if Jake is telling you, if you're looking at this chart right now, that you're going to make money off of that, what the fuck are you thinking? You have to get, look, if you don't get in on the launch and you don't get in early on that original launch, then what you are looking for is you're looking for a Fibonacci retracement. You're looking, the entry position, the smart entry position is from the bottom to the top, top to the bottom. You want this right here. You want this entry zone as a best case scenario, and you want this entry zone as a profit scenario. So until it comes down into $1.50, $1.25, there's nothing to talk about. If you're a real trader, if you're a real investor, if you're not just some dickhead degen who's going to end up getting wrecked more often than he's going to win, this is crazy, right? What you should be looking at is getting it back down here to about 90 cents. If it comes down to 90 cents, if you get this dagger right here, there's your entry point, because it should then pump back up to the 236, which is right there at $1.97. That's easy money. Okay, that's easy money. So from 90 to $1, from 90 cents to $1.80, basically. That's a 2x. So you get your original investment back out during the retest. And by the way, the retest is going to stop right there because that's where it stopped the first time. So your retest is going to stop right here. So you're going to get 2x off of it. You're going to get your original investment back out, and then you're going to have a moon bag that you're sitting on right there. That's what everybody with a brain is going to do. Nobody with a brain is going to buy the top right now. Actually, let me rephrase that. Suckers are born every minute. Suckers are going to keep buying. Everybody who's already bought, here's what you have to rely on, okay? Here's what you have to rely on. You have to rely on the fact that everybody who's been scalping you and stealing from you and dumping on you for the last 5 years suddenly decided today they're just going to hold their bag forever. That's not how it works, okay? That's not how it works. What you got was you got the original move, you got the corrective move. And by the way, this corrective move was very bullish because you take this, you bottom to the top right here. Where did you go? You went to the 0.45 retracement. And by the way, 0.45 retracement means that you've got a bull on your hands, okay? When you retrace to 0.45 on Fibonacci, you're probably going to start going higher. It sat there for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, and then it took off to the next level. So if we're looking at it from that longer term concept, we're still incredibly bullish on it. Here's the problem. There's the pivot right there. There's the next move. You just moved up and you're testing right now that $2.43, but you've been doing it for 1, 2, 3, 4 days. 4 days right now, and you have not broken out. You're at the top. You're at the top right now. Now, here's why that might be good. Okay. I don't want to dump on this because there might still be some more meat left on this. It's not for me. I'm not getting into this because I'm not looking to get wrecked. Fuck that. You don't have a bearish divergence on the RSI on the 4 hour. You don't have a bearish actually, you do have a bearish divergence. No, not really. You've got an up here and you've got an up here. It's kind of even here. It's not bearish divergence, but you're getting real close, okay? And when you get a bearish divergence, by the way, what that means is it means that the investors who are already invested are putting more money in. And when the investors who are already invested are putting more money in, they're trying to sucker people into buying more because they're deep into profit. Like, for example, if you bought way over here and you're up, 100 grand, something like that, you could afford to throw in $10,000 to make it look like people are still buying, but the RSI will start going down because you're not a new buyer. A new buyer is not stepping in. If you look at it from this context, if you look at it from this top right here, which is right here, if you look, we're doing this is a minor thing, okay? But if you look at this to this, that's up. And if you look at this to this right here, same 2 data points, that's down. What that means is while we're consolidating right here, the buyers who are already in profit are continuing to buy it up. New buyers have stopped coming in. If new buyers have stopped coming in, then guess what that means? It means it's time to sell. So now you're going to have enormous buy pressure. Now, here's the good thing. The good thing is the buy pressure has been muted so far at this point. However, again, this is coming lower and lower. That means that the new buyers are not new buyers. It's just existing people who are continuing to buy. That means the price is coming down. Now, if I were looking at this for another move to come, then what I'd be looking for is maybe an entry position at $1.90 right there. I would look for that. I would look at an entry kind of right here. Like if this is mature and it's going to pump some more, you might get lucky at $1.99. Buy a little bit, just a taste. You just want a taste. You just want a little bit. Buy a little bit right there. If it goes to $1.91, buy a little bit more, just a taste. Just want to try it out. Just want to see if it's any good, right? When it comes down to the golden zone right here, buy a bigger bag. You would buy $100 here, or you'd buy $1,000 here. You'd buy another $1,000 here at this red line right here at $1.91. Then you would go in here for $3,000 right here. Now you're in for $5 grand. And if you get lucky enough to get it at 78 cents on the 786, that's where you're going to get a parabolic reversal. And that's where you're going to go in for 5,000, right? So now you have $10,000. You've DCA'd your way with the majority of it coming at the bottom of the chart. And then guess what? That's exactly how you end up winning. And that's how the experts kind of DCA their way down on these, because, you know, you make a few bucks on the pump, you make a few bucks, you make you get a good buy-in, and it starts to dump a little bit more, you buy a little bit more. Now you DCA. So at $2, if you bought at $2 and then you buy again at $1.90, your DCA is now $1.95. Now, if you get the big dip down to $1.75 and you DCA and you buy like 3 times as much as one of your buys, then your DCA comes down to about $1.85 or something like that. Now you're in a position of potentially a big return off of it. And then if it dips down even more and goes all the way down to that Fibonacci 786 level, which is around $1.52, I want to say around $1.52, that's when you go in super heavy. You're going to take $1.52, $1.85, because that's 5,000. You're going to take that, and that's 342, which means that your buy is now $1.71. So your position is now below the 618, which is your golden zone. So that should mean that you would get a profit. That should mean that you get a profit. Doesn't always, but I look, if this is too technical for some of you, if you're not, you know, like if you don't care about that, I do. There's no way that you want to get in. This is not for me. This is not for me. Not right now. If it dumps super hard, it's a good entry. Okay. It's supported by CZ Binance, isn't it? And if it is, then I think it would be a good one. But right now, bearish divergence doesn't look like it's ready to, it looks like it's been trying to go harder, but it's not. The last time it did that, it did dump down here a little bit. So look for that opportunity to get in on a dip, not on a rip. Never buy the top. Even if you think it's going up, never buy the top, because they're relying on you thinking that it's going up to turn you into exit liquidity. Okay. I bought some Trump yesterday. Trump, by the way, it is my belief. By the way, Trump did a great job of handling the UN yesterday. Like, we should recognize that. Trump is at $7.69 right now. There is nothing bullish about the Trump meme coin right now, unless you're buying it at $7.69. I have to think that if you buy it right here, there's gonna be a retest pretty soon. You know, of course, you're going to wick right there to about $8, and you're going to have some resistance at $8, because that's where some sellers are going to step in. And, you know, this little range right here at around $8.30, there's going to be a little bit of resistance right there. But I mean, look, it is my belief that this is going to be the first meme coin to go to 100 billion market cap. Okay. I'm not betting the farm on that. I've got a little bit of it at this point, but it went to $78, $79 in the last run here. I got to think that it's going to do the same thing. Like this, to me, if I were telling you to buy a meme coin, okay, you buy meme coins that are supported, whose chart looks like this. This is what you do. Okay. You find something that took people to the moon. You find out that they're doing hard work in the background to make it worth doing something with. And then you buy it when it comes all the way back down. Because then when it does its retest, like right here, when it came down here to $14, it did a retest all the way up to $24. Do I yield farm? Yes, I do. But I do it on Luna Classic, and I use Terra to do it. So anyway, and then this big reversal right here, I think that, you know, you're going to find some resistance there at about $15, $16, but that's an easy 2X in my opinion. However, this is where I think it's going. I think it's going to go to $500. So if you right now, if you were to buy, my estimation, and by the way, Trump's going to be president for 4 years, provided he doesn't die. He's very old. I mean, we should recognize the man's 80 years old. He's not in perfect health. Nobody who eats McDonald's every day is in perfect health, but he's pretty alert. he seems like he's, he seems like he's still got his faculties about him. Joe Biden did too, by the way. But I think he'll survive the 4 years. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that he's in some kind of bad health or anything like that. So I think that he's going to survive. And that means I think that this thing is going to pump to the fucking moon. Okay. So I think that what you're looking at on the Trump meme coin is, an 80x. Is that 80x from where we are? 70x, 65, 70x, something like that. So that's going to be, you know what I mean? That's going to be a big move. He couldn't say acetaminophen. George W. Bush couldn't say nuclear. He called it nuclear. Like, these guys are retarded, okay? I'm sorry. These guys are Elon Musky. Is that okay to say? You can't say retarded. You have to say like Elon Musky, right? Something like that. I don't know. But listen, I think that the Trump meme token is going to go absolutely crazy. And there's plenty of people, by the way. Look, I can't tell you how many people in my life I've heard say the word ax instead of ask. So I don't really, you know what I mean? And by the way, Tylenol in 2017 said, if you're pregnant, you shouldn't be taking Tylenol. We would never tell you to take it. You know what I mean? Like, what they're saying is people are fighting Donald Trump because they want to fight Donald Trump, not because what he's saying is accurate or inaccurate. And by the way, we can say that while at the same time saying this. Bobby Kennedy is a fucking kook. Okay. He is an insane weirdo and his wife won't even eat his cooking. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's out here like dumping turkeys into beef tallow and stuff like that. And she's like, I'm not eating that garbage. You know what I mean? Like, even his wife doesn't trust him with nutrition. So why should you? You know what I mean? However, that doesn't mean that he's going to be wrong about everything, because I'm going to say this and then we're going to be done with it. Okay. People in the 50s and 60s ate McDonald's and they didn't get fat and gross. People today eat McDonald's and they get fat and gross. Preservatives, whatever the preservatives are that are in our foods, whatever we're using to cook with in our food, is poisonous to our bodies. Not poisonous in that it's killing us quickly, but it's changing life expectancy. It's changing our health levels. Okay. He's not wrong about a lot of this. Okay. By the way, beef tallow, which is basically lard, we got away from it because we thought it was unhealthy, and we switched to seed oil, not because it was healthier. Not because it was healthier. It was cheaper to manufacture. That's why we suddenly got this. Okay. So going back, doing what Steak and Shake is doing and cooking only in beef tallow, I'm good with that. You know what I mean? Like, this is fine. Well, he's right about some of these things. Now, the fact that he lied his way through, everybody with autism is eating cheeseburgers and whatever stupid shit he said, not true. None of it's true. Why is there no autism in the Amish communities? Well, guess what? There is autism in the Amish community, but they don't believe in doctors, so they don't go get tested. So it's very difficult. But guess what? I've seen pictures over and over again of autistic Amish people, because it exists. It exists. It's insanity. Okay. It's insanity. But again, some of this stuff is going to be right. We have to take everything and look at everything, not just because some donkey with a brainworm said it's unhealthy for what we're doing. Like, dude, what ate your throat? You know what I mean? Oh yeah, it was cancer because you smoked. Not making this shit up. Anyway, so let's get back to this because I'm gonna lose my mind on Bobby Kennedy. Fuck my life. Okay, so XRP is not in a position in which, by the way, I would enter if XRP went like this and came back down here. I would enter right here, but I won't enter on the bottom of this line because it ran from the bottom here to the top here. So don't like that. That's a bad position. So the entry position could be the same, but the most likely scenario when you've reached the top of a range is a test of the bottom of the range. And if you don't get a test at the bottom of the range, it's a test at the top or the bottom of the heart line, kind of in the middle right there of the candle. And maybe you get a reversal, but we want to see it break above, and then we want to see it break back down, and we want to see it start to wick maybe down here a little bit and then get bought back up right there. Then we're going to play this zone right here. Right now, that's not the zone to play in. So RSI already starting to spike, which means that we could get hot over the next couple days, get this move right here, get a dip back down here, and then we're going to be looking at this position as an entry. But because we're in this zone down here, we don't want to enter at the top of that range. Okay. I hope that made sense to you. We got Trail Boss. We got a legend in the house. God damn it. I should have put on a dress. I should have put on a dress for you, man. Sorry about that. By the way, for those of you that don't know, Trail Boss and I go back and forth because he calls me like a liberal cuck, and he talks about my liberalism because I'm not really a Trump supporting guy. I voted for Trump, but I'm not a Trump supporter. I just think that he's the best thing for crypto. And Trail Boss buys his socks to sniff them and jerk off into them on eBay, which is weird. But I mean, hey, we're all living our life, so we do the best we can. Anyway, Chainlink. So if I get another dip down for Chainlink, I got the dip that I wanted a day before. So we haven't seen it come back down. Because it hasn't come back down, I don't have a decision to make at this point. I just don't, I'm not feeling it, if you will. Like I'm not really seeing Chainlink in that takeoff zone. However, let's go look at what happened on the last Fibonacci from the top to the bottom to top. We're still in the golden zone. So anywhere in here, I think, is a good trade. However, here's the problem, okay? The reason that I'm saying this is because what you normally see, for anybody who doesn't understand, Fibonacci, when you're having a good run, you're going to go up to the top. Obviously, you're going to go from 0 to 1. Then you're going to come back down to 0.5, 0.45, or 0.618. You're going to be here, here, or here. And then you should reverse back up to either the 236 or the 382. And what I mean by that is when you come up here, you're going to come down into the 0.5, then you go back to the 236. Then you're going to come lower, and then you have a potential of breaking out. But if you don't break out, you end up going lower, and you come to that 786. This is the time to be shrewd about your investment. This is not the time to do what I just said don't do on the last one, which is don't buy the top of the line. Buy when it goes up above, breaks down, and comes back down and bounces off of that. That's our confirmation, right? We got that confirmation 2 days ago before we entered the trade, and it went all the way back up here. That's where we want to go. We want to find one of those lines. We want to see that bounce zone. That's where we want to buy. So right now, it's rejecting off of this. So most likely going to come back down. So here's what I'll do. $20.50. Here's what we'll do. Just in case we get a dip tonight, let's go over here and let's get some Link. Because I really wanted to, because I think Link has the ability to just absolutely blow up and take off. But I like that entry position at $20.50. So let's go do this. We're going to set a limit order. Again, $1,000. We're going to do it at $20.50. If we get an opportunity and if we get fortunate enough to get that position for an entry, then we want to take that. Okay. So does that look right? Limit price. I don't know what happened here. Where's my buy order? There we go. I don't know what happened there. Link. I lost my buy thing. All right, so we're going to set a limit order. And oh my God. Man, let's risk it for the biscuit. Let's risk it for the biscuit. We're going to do 10x. We're going to do 5,000, which means we're putting 5. You know what? We're going to do 10,000. Let's do it. Let's do it. We're going to do it. 10,000. And we're going to do it at $20.50 and buy long. So if we get to $20.50, we're going to put 10 grand or 10,000 in leverage. We're putting $1,000 in on link, and we'll see how that goes. Now, also, if it comes down to that range, we're going to take our profit at $23 right here, right at the bottom of that next set. We might scalp it a little bit closer to $22 just so we can get out with the profit. So we might do that. Let's see. Let's get that triggered first, and then we'll look at where we're going to take profit off of it. All right. So we're down $1 billion to start off the day. This could be a buy opportunity for a lot of these different projects. My entry here at $3.20 for SWE. Let's do that one. So we want a limit order. We want that limit to be 320. Now, the reason that I'm doing this is because I don't think we're going down to the bottom over here again. This right here, like to this right here. What I want is I want to be able to limit going down to 295 or less right there. Okay. So when I set this up for this limit order, we're going to do this at 8x leverage. Okay. We're good for that. And we're going to do 8,000. So we're putting $1,000 in. All right. And we're doing it 320, which means that our estimated liquidation is $2.80. Let's go look at 280 and see what it looks like over here. 280 is below where I think it's going to potentially wick down to. All right. So I like this position. So if we get lucky enough to get that dagger that takes us down there, yeah, we're good. Whoa. Trading for what? Trading for SWE is temporarily suspended. Uh-oh. I wonder what's happening with SWE right now. All right. Well, we'll move on from that. Let's go check out Ondo. Because I wanted a shot at Ondo, and this is where okay. All right. We're going to be less than shrewd right here. We're going to enter Ondo if we can get it right here. O-N. Oh, we can't get Ondo. All right. So we're going to skip that one. Let's go down the list here. Doge, Litecoin, nope. 100K Pepe, no. SHIB, no. Cardano, we're not trading stable coins. The fuck are we? Nerds. Uniswap. So if Ethereum rips, Uniswap's going to rip. Let's go look real quick and let's see what, before we enter this, let's go look at the Bitcoin. Let's go look at the ETFs. All right. So, oh shit, we got nice big buys coming in on the ETFs today. 76 million. IBIT did not report yet, but we had outflows here. We've got big inflows on this one. What's Ethereum look like today? Ethereum is down 4,000, down 19. Grayscale, negative. Grayscale, negative. BlackRock has not reported yet. Oh, God damn it. Man, God damn it. Okay. We're going Ethereum. Okay, we're doing it. We're going Ethereum here. Son of a bitch. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do 7x. And fuck. Okay, we're gonna put 2,000 in Ethereum. We're gonna put 2,000 in Ethereum. We're gonna buy it at market price right now, 41.53. Our liquidation is 35.65. We're going. All right. We're going right now. I think that Ethereum, with those flows on the ETF, I think that means that we're going to see some positive action on Ethereum over the next couple of days. So I don't think we're going to see 35. I think we're more likely to see 45. So now that we have that, we're going to set a full take profit at $4,400. So if we are lucky enough to get a move up to $4,400. We got a full take profit sitting right there. Okay, that'll be our that'll be our good big play for the day. We're gonna leave $1,000 in. So here's what we got. We got. I'm still nervous about that avalanche move. Like, this may not be a good one. I don't know. All right, so we're up 15 bucks on Solana so far. It's not bad. Ethereum. So if Ethereum runs, then you know what? We need Bitcoin. God damn it, we need Bitcoin. Okay, we're gonna go long on Bitcoin too, and we're gonna take the rest of what we got here. We're gonna take this last $1,000. We're gonna do 10,000. We're gonna put $1,000 on Bitcoin at this level. God damn it, man, that doesn't. Motherfucker. God, that doesn't look right. God damn it. So if the ETF is pumping, then Bitcoin's probably going to pump too. Fuck. Man, god damn it. All right, so I'm on a 1 hour candle. We've had a rip here. We've had a dip here. Okay. All right. Fibonacci says right here to 112,500. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to set up 112,500. We're going to set a limit order for 112,500. If it goes down to that, then here we are. We're a buyer. If we go down to that range, then we have made some buys. So now if it doesn't, no harm, no foul, right? We're up $6 billion on the day. It looks like the market is reversing. Goddamn Near protocol better not take off again, because I'm going to be pissed if I missed out on that one again. But that's it. That's going to be the show. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. So we're going to see how far we can take this. Can we turn $5,000 into $1 million? That's the question. Today, we turned $5,000 into $5,665. What can we do by tomorrow? By the way, if we were to do this 52 days in a row, if we were able to get a 10% profit, 52 days in a row, we're not going to, but if we were 52 days in a row, that would be $713,000 that we would earn off of that. So if you have not already, and you want to start doing this, and you see this money being made, and you see that we're winning, and you want to get in on these, then that's going to be called copy trading. Okay. Copy trading is available on Margex right here. I have not set up the account yet, so I'm not telling you right now to get in, but if you are interested in this, go set yourself up with an account at Margex. I have a link in the description down below. Go ahead and set your account up. Make sure you fund it. Put $100 in it or something like that, whatever. And then I will start this copy trading. And when I start this copy trading, we're going to take $1,000. We're going to take $1,000 to $1 million. Remember that time when Henoch was going to turn $1 million into something? I remember it like crapped out and never did anything. Like, unfucking believable. Do we need a VPN? You do not need a VPN. You just need to sign up and fund your account. Also, there's probably a sign up bonus. I don't know if there is. But look at the notices over here and see if you don't have like a sign up bonus for signing up. If you put $1,000 in the account, they probably give you like $100 in futures bonuses or something like that. You know what I mean? It's like just I don't know for sure, but most places do that so that you have that opportunity. So that's it. That's the show. Thank you guys so much. By the way, this is my daughter. She passed away a few years ago. So love you, Taylor. So we will talk to you guys again very, very soon. It's not financial advice, but I'm always right.
I'm looking for the good life, good life. Sitting on top of the world, I wanna be shining like diamonds and pearls. I want you to